of dudes rapping, they ain't nice as me. 98% ain't lived the same type of life as me. The judge gave me life and damn, they sent me where the life is be. The level 4 with depth and fights, the type of shit they like to see. Two choices, fight or flee, I refuse to die a chump. I never been a bitch, but damn, it's scary when that riot jump. I seen dudes cry, get punked, some sexually brutalized. Knew a dude who lost his life and he was only doing 5. Year-long racial fights, when homie, all you do is ride. Lonely days and nights up in a hole, causing suicide. From the moment you arrive, you see the Mexican mafia, bulldogs and skinheads with big giant swastikas, pro-black philosophers, the BGF and Gumi, and Muslims who will murk you from the nation to the Sunni. The Northerners was loony, quick to ride up on their rivals. Even Christians went to church, hide knives up in their Bibles. Political and tribal, the Crips and Damoos, the Long Beach, the Hubs and the Dubs and the Grooves, the IEs, the Bakersfield, the Dago Pyrus, the Hustlers quick to roll, the Gangsta Crips move. Whatever clique you choose, you better stick to the... Say what's cracking, YouTube? It's your boy 16 to Life, and I'm back like I'm on a parole violation. Yard down! Now, for those of y'all that's new to my page, in 1994, I got arrested. I was eventually sentenced to 16 years plus life, and I served 24 years straight in the California prison system. Yeah, that's me gassing on the intro, man. Like I keep telling y'all, the flow is nothing like Curtis Blow. If you want to get that song, get at me, man. It is available on CD only. For now, CD only. So tap in with me on Instagram at 16 to Life. That's 16DALIFE. Or you can email me at 16thelife music@gmail.com, man. Let's go. So today I'm reacting to another prison YouTuber, a good friend of mine by the name of Banky Pound. Banky Pound did, I believe, 32 years or 30 years plus in the prison system out there in Virginia, man. So let's hop right up into his video and react to him being back in a prison cell. Banky Pound has a lot and lots of fans, so I definitely don't want anyone to think that he's incarcerated again. He took a planned trip to some type of studio or wherever he went that has a prison cell in it, and he's gonna sit in there and give you guys his experience. So let's hop right up into this video.
I've been on these jokes like this. Theo, get your man, I've been on that. I've been on this, y'all know this routine. I done did all of that, man. Man, get me up, man. You better calm down, man. Man, get me up all this. Man, get the white shirt over here. I done did all that, man. I ain't lying to you. Then they don't want to come. I flood this joint. I'll flood that joint. I'll stop that joint up, flood that joint. I done grab these joints and put them all up to the door and set them on fire. And, man, I done did all this retarded stuff, man.
You know what? It's a trip because every prison system is different in the way they run and who they incarcerate and a lot of the politics that goes on inside those prisons. But I was just sitting here listening to him talk about that, basically just getting angry. And that same type of stuff goes on in California. And so that's why I say sometimes you will see a lot of stories that are similar between YouTubers who are in the prison genre, because there's only so much that you can do in prison. And that's a tactic I've seen many people use in California, kicking on the bars or kicking on the cell door, bamming on the cell door, and especially flooded. You know, so they'll put like sheets or towels or something in the toilet, then flush it, make water come out. Eventually the water's going to run all in the cell and then eventually get all outside the tier. And at some point in time, someone is going to have to come up. The guards is going to have to come up and clean it up and see what's going on. And so a lot of the stuff that goes on in prison is definitely universal.
Crazy life, man. Crazy life, man. I thank God I got a, chance to get up out of this, man.
Once again, man, I hate to interrupt, but a dude asked me a ridiculous question initially to me at first, right, when I read it. He says, Chill, do you ever miss being in prison with the homies? And, initially, like I said, that was a ridiculous question. But as I thought about it, I have heard many people who've been in prison say that, it's easier for them being in prison. They have less responsibilities and less things to deal with. But for me, no, never, man. I never, ever wish that I was back in prison.
Both know it ain't guaranteed. Dudes spend a million years like this, man. Just in depression. A million years like this, man. How many times you done sit on the edge of the toilet, man, just thinking, man, like,
Is they gonna ever open that door?
yeah, this Jones. So, dude said right here, man, waiting for county clear.
Yeah.
Just like this, waiting for county clear. And dude sit on this joint, pass gas. You know, I tell you, I had my celly. Any one of y'all running Big Rip? Big Rip. I remember Big Rip. I was on Wallace Ridge, man. Big Rip beat his celly up, man, and put him out, man, for passing gas in the cells. So, man, you sit on that toilet, man. What's wrong with you, man? You don't bust your butt over here. Sit on that goddamn toilet. Beat him up, put him out the cell, man. As soon as the doors overcount, man, the whole mattress and everything came flying about that joint. And he was right beside me. I was like, man, Rip, why out here in there fighting, man? Got that toilet, man. He sit on that toilet, flush that toilet. Dude, once you sit on that toilet, flush that toilet so all the smell will go down, right? And Rip big as I don't know what, man. Rip beat the man up, put the man out the cell, man.
That's another thing that's universal. Imagine being in a closet-like space with another individual, and of course, it's only human. At some point, people are gonna have to use the bathroom and pass gas, but those prison toilets, the suction on them is so strong when you flush them at night. They're gonna definitely wake your celly up most of the time, and so the whole idea of when you have to pass gas, you go sit on the toilet, and when you pass gas, you flush the toilet. That way, it's doesn't allow your celly to smell it, and it's just a thing of consideration, So
it's crazy right here though. This is like being in this joint though, man. It's like being up in here, man. For real, I see how Joe get claustrophobic. Ain't been in here so long. Yeah, I don't never want to be in one of these no more. Pictures all on the wall, King Magazine, XXL, all letters. I ain't never put no letters on the wall though. I put pictures on the wall though for sure. For sure. I ain't never put no letters on the wall though. Why not?
now, me myself, I never really put pictures on the wall either. You had a lot of people who would put pictures on the wall. They would customize their cell, design it certain ways. But my thing is, you never know how long you was going to be in there. And so I would just never do the stuff because sometimes you may come back from the yard, the guards have went up in there, and they do these type of things to try to irritate you, to aggravate you. They'll tear the pictures down because you're not supposed to have pictures up there, or at least in California, they were supposed to be in a selected area, and then of course they couldn't be pictures that would potentially be obscene or upsetting to female guards. And so it just, to me, it was just it was no sense in doing it, especially because you may be in the cell chilling, then you get a call, say, hey man, we gotta move. You going to another building, so you have to go and customize your cell all over. And so to me, it was something that I never done, but I would see a lot of people they would do that though.
I just ain't want nobody else to read whatever, my letters were personal. I ain't want nobody, read my letters, you know what I'm saying? I kept my letters in my locker. I ain't never put no letters on the wall. I put pictures on the wall, some personal, some like that, you know what I'm saying? It just make you realize you're still human, man, So that's what it do for real. It just make you realize you're still human. You still care about things outside of the penitentiary, Because you've been in penitentiary so long, man. You get caught up in just living a penitentiary life, man. And you got to remind yourself this ain't real life. You know what I'm saying? This definitely ain't real life, man. You gotta remind yourself that all the time. But man, in most cells, I've been in cells like this. There was single cells, though, but most cells is double bunk. But I've been in cells like this. There was single cells. For real, to be honest with you, if there is such a thing, this was my favorite cells, to be in a cell by yourself. And if you want on segregation, segregation was you in the cell by yourself, but you ain't got, all your amenities and stuff. You ain't got your, your TV and all this and all that. But if you on population and you got a single cell, man, that's probably the most peace you can get, if you can call it that. That's probably the most serenity you gonna get, because you can move around the way you want to move around. You ain't got to worry about nobody touching your stuff. You already know everything is supposed to be where it's at because you put it there. But when you gotta sell it, man, you gotta understand. You gotta move around a sale partner. You know what I'm saying? You gotta respect his space. He gotta respect your space. But you talking about two grown men in a little small closed in area. Most 9 times out of 10, y'all don't even really know each other. You know, and 8 times out of 10, y'all probably don't even like each other. But you got to coexist just to, you know what I'm saying, to maintain that space, man, to keep that peace in that space. Because once you go out them doors anyway, it's chaos, man. So if you can't have peace when you come inside these doors, man, your whole spirit gonna be messed up, man.
I think that was something extremely important that he just mentioned right there. The importance of finding you someone who you can get along with in the cell, man, because the cell, once again, is an extremely small space. And so if you can't be in harmony in your cell, you know, it's definitely going to be some hard living, man. And I remember certain dudes who would always get into it, you know, with their cellies and talking about, oh man, it's him. But no, after a while, it has to be you. You know, in some cellies you get in there, they want to play the music up loud. They want to have the TV up loud. You know, in California prisons, we have headphones. And so, you know, some cellies just didn't want to use their headphones, or they want to, you know, put the headphones on and maybe rapping, just irritating, you know. And that was one thing with me. I used to definitely enjoy my peace of mind when I got in the cell. You know, outside on the yard, I'm laughing, I'm playful, this and that. But when I got in the cell, I wanted to kick back, relax, get a peace of mind, read, you know. And so, yeah, having a cellie who you got along with, I found that out later on, you know, to be an extremely, extremely important thing.
Whole spirit gonna be messed up. You got a celly, man, that you ain't really rocking with and you ain't comfortable in that cell, your whole spirit gonna be messed up, man, because you ain't gonna be comfortable in that block. If you is comfortable in that block, then you's an idiot, because so much be going on out there, so many different people with so many different things going on, man. You don't know who gonna snap, who they gonna snap on, if they gonna snap, if you gonna be involved. It's just too many variables outside that cell. So when you can't be comfortable in the cell, as if that's even possible, then yeah, that's a hard bit right there, man. That's a real hard bit. Be in that cell with somebody you don't like. And somebody on the top bunk, then you get them jokers want to get on the top bunk and hang their foot over, so their foot, you know, is in your face. That's a no-no. I know plenty of jokers that got crushed for that. You know what I'm saying? I got one of my homeboys, dude, hanging his feet over the bunk, man. He just got up, turned around and grabbed his feet, snatched him up off that joint, man. He bust his head wide open because he hit that concrete floor. So, you know, it's just rules in penitentiary, man, that you got to follow. And then a lot of dudes, man, they got a problem with that because they already got to follow the administration rules and they don't want to follow the other rules too. But, you know, that's a part of doing time, man. You know, we got penitentiary rules, you got administration rules. And the difference is, you know, well, you know, administration, they could kill you, but it's unlikely. But they do it, and they have done it. But you don't follow the penitentiary rules, yeah, you can go away from here. Straight to the upper room. You can get killed not following penitentiary rules. So there's a lot of things that jokers don't want to do, but they just got to do. You know what I'm saying? But I done sat on these bunks a minute. Man. Yeah, I done utilize all this little space and work out. Try to keep your mind clear. I done did dips off the toilet. I did push-ups off the toilet.
I think one of the things that first extremely shocked me when I first got to prison, Salinas Valley, is dudes were washing their personal laundry in the toilet. Yeah, that's right, in the toilet now. Let me say this. They had a lot of cleaning supplies, disinfectant. You know, every time they use the bathroom, they clean the toilet out real good, put the disinfectant in there, wipe it down real good, clean it out real good. But now keep in mind, I'm fresh from the streets. I'm coming fresh from the streets. So to see a person put his clothes in the toilet and wash his clothes out in the toilet, wash them out in the toilet, then maybe get into the sink and wring them out and stuff like that, it was something that was extremely shocking to me. So it may seem crazy, but when you go to prison, that's the life.
Use the toilet for a cooler. I done did all of that, man. You know what I'm saying? So when I look at this we call this a silver bullet. Silver bullet right here, man. Yeah, you ain't getting no cushion, you ain't getting none of that, you know. And when it explode, you flush it, that joint be so loud. You sleep, wake your cell partner up, you know,
See?
then he rolling over, looking grumpy, you know, then you gotta look at him, y'all mean mugging each other, tensions be high, and y'all locked in. That's what I be telling these young dudes, man. You know, everybody out here now, these youngsters, man, y'all just popping pistols and shooting and running around. They ain't never been in no fight in your life. You were playing video games every day, all day, and you ain't never been in no physical confrontation, because when you get mad, all you do is go get a gun and you want to shoot somebody. Well, this is where you going to be at, in a little small space like this with another dude in here, and you got a problem with him. Y'all going to settle it right here, and ain't nobody going to be able to come help you, man, and you ain't going to be able to pull no gun.
I've said it many times on my show, many times, man. A cell fight is one of the most dangerous things in prison, because in the California prisons, it's a lot of metal. The cells aren't like this in the California prisons. You know, you'll come in either on your left or your right. There'll be two cabinet like drawers, lockers, for you to put your stuff and for your cellie to put his stuff. We can set the TVs up there. Then in the back of the cell, there's a metal desk attached to the wall and a metal chair. And just like I say, it's a lot of metal up in there. You get to fighting up in there, you might be up in there fighting for an hour or two, you know, even longer than that. And so with all that metal, and of course, with such close quarters, eventually it's just going to turn into a big wrestling match. And so sometimes that's why size does matter in prison, because in a small space, when it's not much space, you're going to need to be as strong as possible. And it's a deadly situation.
You know, I don't get it, man. You know what I'm saying? I explain this stuff all the time, man, and they still out here acting wild. They still acting crazy. You know, Redmond just told me somebody just shot up Joan last night. It's crazy, man. But this is gonna be your life right here. This will be where it at. And see, you got these things like this, dudes fighting in here, man. You fall in, you hit your head.
See what I mean?
Bust your head open, crack your skull. You know, dude beat you up under the bunk, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just so many things that can happen, man, to you when you in this type of environment, man. And yeah, this is a place I don't never want to be no more. This is a place I don't never want to see nobody no more. I definitely don't want to see nobody that's close to me, that's kin to me, go through this, because I already know what this type of life is, man. You know, I done ate so many of them, man. Probably in my DNA. You know, I done ate a gazillion of these. That's probably in my DNA too, you know. You ain't got to worry about that. You going to get some state toilet paper. Won't feel like cardboard. So, you know, yeah, man. This bring you back to a different type of life here. Oh, Lord, down goes Frazier. You know what I'm saying? The bunks ain't good. Oh, yeah, your mattress ain't nowhere near this thick in the penitentiary. Nah, ain't nowhere near that thick in the penitentiary. You probably get about like that. And it's plastic, and it make noise. And you roll over, you can hear it crunching your pillow plastic, it make noise. Everybody hollering all night. Got some people don't want to go to sleep till 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. And man, you got dudes that sleep with toilet paper in their ear so they can't hear it. Then they start selling earplugs, put the earplugs in their ear. If you can't sleep with noise, that's another 100,050th reason not to go to prison. But yeah, man, it's crazy. Then you got a little something flying around in here. That's normal too. You might have bugs, you might have spiders. Yeah, man, it's a miserable life, man. It's a miserable life right here, brother. It's a miserable life, man, and it don't get no better neither. You know, it don't get no better. It be like this all the time. Especially if it is quiet, man. That's when you get into your thinking, man. That's when you be thinking, and then you actually get more depressed. You know, I used to, when I used to think a lot, I get more depressed because it made me realize where I was at, and made me just look around and be like, man, this is my life, man. You know, when you go to visits and you know, you see your peoples and you be be so happy to see somebody that you actually love, somebody that actually care about you, and then you gotta watch them walk out. You gotta watch them walk out, man, and they go and do this, or they go and do that, or they go and get something to eat, and you going back to this. This is where you.
Now, my situation was a little different, right? In terms of being depressed, being down, now this is just for me, and it with each person it was different. But well, for me, coming to prison as a gang member, I had a different mentality, right? I wasn't blaming nobody else for my situation. I knew what I signed up for. Of course, in the course of gang banging, you never think you're gonna get caught. You never think you're gonna get killed. You never think you're gonna come to prison. But obviously, we find out that that's not true. So, for me personally, I've always had an upbeat personality. So, being able to deal with my situation was different for me. Because like I say once again, I realized it was my actions that got me in prison, and I knew that going to prison, even though it wasn't a desired result, sometimes it was the reality of gang banging. So most of my time was upbeat, and I didn't get too down and depressed. Now, when I really got depressed and down is around the time I'd been in prison, maybe I don't know how long, 16, 17 years, give or take a few years. And once it was time for me to start going to the board or getting ready or preparing to go to the board, that's a situation that really got me down and depressed, because I would read my transcripts, and you want to remember things and think about things, and I'm thinking like, man, I got 3 attempted murders, someone got shot in the head, and then I have a separate murder, which they say is the murder of a witness, trying to prevent him from testifying at the situation where the 3 people got shot at. So I'm just thinking like, man, they ain't gonna never let me go. And that is something that would depress me when I realize how much control I gave somebody else over my life. So just thinking about all that stuff is something that definitely would depress me. So I would read the transcripts, I would get to thinking about it, and I would put it away. I wouldn't even continue reading it. Then a couple of times it was time for me to go to the board. I waived going to the board. I said, no, I'm not ready. I'm not ready yet. And it was a way of dealing with that type of situation, was not dealing with it for me. For everybody is different, but definitely prison at some point is definitely going to depress you once you realize you're in there for a long time and you have no control. If you're a lifer, you have no control of if you're ever going to get out.
Going right back right here. Every time I got a visit though, I don't know about nobody else, but every time I got a visit though, I swear, every time I got a visit, I came back, I went to sleep. Every time, it's like it drained me mentally. You know what I'm saying? Even when I had good, and all my visits was good visits for the most part. Unless somebody came up there and told me somebody passed away or something like that. But for the most part, all my visits was good visits, man. But every time I came back, man, I always used to ask my cellie to leave, because I just felt drained. You know what I'm saying? I just felt like it just took something out of me. I guess because it was just making you feel like what you was missing. What was, you know what I'm saying? What you done reduce your life to. But I used to go to sleep, man, for at least a couple of hours every time I came from a visit. That was my routine. Unless I went right to the phone and got on the phone and called somebody while they was driving home. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, I come back to the cell, man, and ask my cellie, man, let me get a little time. I go in that joint, go to sleep, man. I be depressed like I don't know what. And you have to shake it off, man, because you still got to go face the part. You still got to go face reality.
You see there now, according to Banky Pound, visits would get him down and depressed, and he'd go sleep. And like I said earlier, everybody has their own way of dealing with certain things up in there. For me, like Banky Pound, visits to me was always good. I would enjoy my visits and stuff, and it was just a time to get away from prison. You go to the visiting room out there, your family's out there, they got food which is better than what you've been eating in prison, and so it was always a joyous moment for me, man. And so, but like he said, things affect people differently. So imagine, and I've seen this 100 times in prison, man. For whatever reason, someone may have a problem. A person may just be upset. He may have got some bad news on a visit, and there is really no way of releasing that anger. So he may come out, go to the yard. First person that does something to him that normally wouldn't even bother him, maybe step on his shoe, don't say excuse me, maybe walk too close to him, maybe anything, he's looking to release that frustration on him. And like I said, a person may do something which would have never bothered him before, but due to he has a certain type of stress on his mind, that is just enough to make him flash, and he really takes his anger out on another situation, but he takes it out on this individual, man. And so, yeah, prison is extremely rough, man. And shout out to Banky Pound. The name of this video, if you want to see it in its entirety, is Banky Pound back in a prison cell, man. But anyway, you already know what it is. It's your boy 16 to life. Resume normal program.